guys, welcome back to the channel for my third and final character analysis of the Ice chapter and season 11. We are talking about the furry, or formling, my bad, Akita in this video. As usual, we'll be going through the four main characteristics: appearance, voice, traits, and relationships. So when we're talking about physical appearance, definitely several clues that implied that she would be able to turn into a wolf, which was revealed in season 11. And first of all, you have her teeth, which definitely look a little bit different. And then of course there's a big wolf cap on her head. Her hair is also pretty big and a bit messy, if you will, and of course, she's been out in the wilderness for 3 decades or so. I don't think that would really be her priority. Her clothing is relatively simple, and her main colors are white and red, and those are the colors that are also represented in her animal form. And she also has a little circle with a wolf symbol, definitely exemplifying that connection between her and her animal form. She comes from a small village, and that simple feeling is definitely represented in her design. But at the same time, you also have some other aspects, such as, she's been out in the wilderness for several decades. That is also represented in qualities like her teeth and her hair. And next, talking about her voice, she's voiced by the same person as Mistake, and there's really not much to say for this section. Her voice does have a slight accent and is kinda higher pitched. One thing I like about the voice is that they're really able to channel different emotions. Her voice does sound kind of cheerful, but at the same time, they do a great job of her anxiousness in episode 24, and also her despair and her rage at the Ice Emperor and Vex. So I really love how they do that with her voice. So now talking about traits, and I really want to highlight the progression of her story and how she develops over time. She starts out kind of nervous and anxious of what's to come and the future in episode 24. However, her strength is shown as she does manage to overcome these fears, and from then she discovers her animal form, and things seem certain from here. Her future seems to be happy, and it looks like she has finally accomplished her goals. Nothing will stand in her way now. However, that very quickly comes crashing down. The Ice Emperor freezes her entire village and the leader of the Formlings, and her brother is seemingly killed. Unbeknownst to her, of course, he has actually been captured and is still alive, but she leaves the village, and she is definitely scarred by this. Despite all that just happened, when we enter the present, there is still some hope left in her, which is a contrast to Kataru, who meanwhile is sitting in jail and has no hope that he can be freed, as shown in episode 28. Meanwhile, Akita delivers her monologue at the beginning of episode 16, emphasizing her belief that heroes still do exist. She never gives up, and even though she's been on her own for many decades now, she is still going to get her revenge on the Ice Emperor. She has that set in her mind, and she's determined to do that. She's also shown to be a very loyal character, as she sticks with Lloyd for the entirety of his journey and helps him out, even saving his life at a few occasions. And lastly, her relationships. We'll first talk about her relationship with her brother Kataru, and it seems to be a pretty strong relationship. Of course, they do have their bickering, and that's shown at the beginning of episode 24. Take it from me, it happens with all siblings. Regardless of these small things though, they do have a pretty strong relationship once again, and they go on their own journey together to find their animal forms. More evidence of their close bond is when Kataru, at the beginning of episode 24, he comforts Akita about her insecurities and about her worries that she might be formless. She also witnesses Kataru's presumed death, and this definitely has a huge impact on her. She leaves the village and never looks back, as she says, but also the music in that scene is definitely very dramatic, and again, since this entire episode is from her point of view, I think that personally signifies the importance of Kataru to her, and how important losing him will be to her. As for her relationship with Lloyd, it's not as complex. Basically, they're just friends, and it's kind of an ally relationship where they both help each other out and have a common goal. They do have that first little thing about trust where Lloyd's Season 8 development kicks in, but Akita is able to apologize for that, and Lloyd accepts that. Now, she also does despise Vex and the Ice Emperor, and for good reason too, obviously. They destroyed her entire life, and she wants revenge on them, but I would imagine personally that she hates Vex even more. First of all, Vex is of course a formling. He turned his back on their society, and then he only came back later in order to destroy them, so that'll definitely leave a mark on the formlings. Secondly, Akita was already very worried about not finding her animal form, and then Vex shows up and asks the leader what they'd do to her if she doesn't find her animal form. This definitely isn't the right time for this, and I would only imagine that would make Akita even more worried. And although Akita's backstory is filled with these tragic events, and she sure has been through a lot, she is still managing to persevere through all of this, and she is still determined to get her revenge, and that is definitely one of the biggest driving forces behind her character. Anyways, thanks for watching this character analysis. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone ever you know, and I will see you next time.